What up, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy Gerald. It is Thursday, the 29th of August 2013. Welcome back for those that are in school. I know for the parents, I'm getting ready to send them babies back to school. A new chapter, right? You know? Hi, for those who don't know me, my name is Gerald Davis. I am a life coach and a future psychologist. If you found this video, it was not by chance. It was meant for you to stumble on it. In October of 2011, I made the greatest decision that I could, and that was to embrace my spiritual journey and walk. And therefore, I decided to show this to the world, because I know that sooner or later, we're going to make that decision of your worth, your value. And I'm going to tell you what, when you finally make a decision for yourself to be happy, well, you can't do it by yourself, first and foremost, because it don't work like that. You're a spiritual being first. But when you finally start to invest in who you are, guess what? You will see your purpose, and you'll start to understand why you are actually placed on this planet, and the reasons, the connections that you have are the ones that they are. Now, it's a beautiful day. I know some of y'all are gearing up for the last hurrah, because we have Labor Day weekend coming up. And just to throw that disclaimer out, for those who are considering being on the road, please, please, please be safe, okay? Your loved ones want to see you the same way you're going, as well as you come back. So it's very important that you take care of yourself when you're on the highways and byways. And, you know, hey, for those who got them smartphones, use your Bluetooth. You know, I got one of these. They work beautiful. They let you know what's going on. And if you've got if your vehicle's got it already implemented in your radio, that's even better. But your hands need to be on the road. At least no distractions. And I'm throwing this out here because this past weekend we had I was leaving for work, and normally on the weekends, you know, here in Virginia Beach, you got more people leaving than coming. And I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm making my way, and there was gridlock from the time I jumped on the highway. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? Come to find out, there was an 8-car pileup, and with one car on its roof. And, you know, my prayers go out to whoever was driving that vehicle. You know, it was an SUV, but it was bashed up so bad you thought it was a compact car. So I can only hope that there was no distractors being that caused the accident. Now, so it's been a second before I put a video out, and a couple months ago I put a video out talking about perceptions and how those perceptions really influence our day-to-day, as well as the influences that comes from the choices we make. Now, hold on 1 second. Sorry about the delay, y'all. See, what you can't see is I have a Stafford Terrier. His name is Tyson. Joy of my life. Joy of my life. But he just turned a year old, and he's in this phase of wanting to investigate and study. He's very, very intelligent. But for some reason, he wanted to get at the vacuum cleaner. I'm like, nah, I can't get you tearing that up, so I put him away. Now, to get back to what I was about to say, talking about perceptions. Now, hold on. Have you noticed how important the influence is in your decision making and your choices are based on the things that you hear and the things you see? Have you noticed how society has really taken an approach of more or less dumbing down your mentality? I know some of you are like, man, why would they do this? They cannot be that ignorant. But have you noticed that anything that's positive never gets the light of day compared to some things that are outright shock and awe? Do you realize there's a reason why they do that? They do that because they're trying to condition your perceptions on things, or more or less get you to the point of condoning what they put before you. So, which is basically a slap in the face of your intellect. I know how many of you how many of you guys saw the MTV Awards? Now, that show sent a serious message on so many levels. Now, as you already know, we have the right to turn on and condone whatever because we have free will. But, see, society doesn't care about you at all. They just want to influence you because they know that you're going to accept it. Now, this brings me back to my point of perceptions. It is very, very important that you see your worth and value. I know you guys, like, you always talk about it, because I believe each and every one of you need to protect that. You know, they say, what's that parable? If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. Well, look at what they're doing. Look what they put on TV. Look at what's put out there on the airwaves. You gotta, you know, it makes you cringe. Now, I'm not trying to take a negative approach on nothing. I'm just stating fact that, see, not even putting a demographic out there, but I'll just say this. Let's use the video awards. Do you actually think that if you did anything that you saw in your regular life, in your day-to-day, would be condoned or accepted? Now, maybe some of you say, well, that ain't nothing. Ain't no big deal. So let me change the diameter a little bit. Do you think that behavior that was put out there on the airwaves, if that was your grandmother or mother or father in the audience, would it be condoned? Some of you maybe say, well, you know what I do is what I do. But let me ask you this. Well, let me say this. I know that entertainment is a business, but what I got out of that, since they had blasted this all over the media, which you already know that, you know, that mindset of negative news is still good news because they're talking about you. You got to look at the value. the value of the person, the value of who's watching it, and the self-worth as a whole. What I saw for, I mean, come on now, let's keep it 100. If that same activity was going on in your local club or wherever you decide to go out to or relax, you know darn well that they would have security escort that person out. But what I got out of it was talking about Miley Cyrus. There was a cry, a deep, deep cry for acceptance. But in actuality, she compromised not only her self-respect, her self-worth, but in turn, they more or less applauded her. And there's that bait and switch. And watch how her career takes off. Why? Because it served a bigger purpose. That whole shock and awe mentality. Well, if you're willing to accept that, you can accept this. Or like they say, lift the bar. We're going to lift the bar. To whose standard? Because there was no moral fiber in that. What should have been, remember how they used to use censorship for everything? Where's the censorship now? Now, remember when MTV was all about videos? What happened to that? It turned corporate and it's all about a product. But what really concerns me is this. What about the little kids? Well, I know you're probably saying, well, Gerald, they should have been watching it anyway. However, for you parents, know this. You already know you can't police your children 24 hours a day. You can be the best parents in the world, but you can't do it humanly possible. You cannot do that. But with smartphone technology, laptops, and tablets, it'll get out there. So what about that little girl that looks at her behavior? She's going to think it's condonable. But it's not an epidemical problem until middle suburbia or your town, USA, there's a little child doing the same thing. And what are they going to do? What are they saying? Well, I saw it on TV. So yes, as parents, it is our responsibility to govern your environment. It's your responsibility. But I'm telling you right now that I took too much time away from what I wanted to talk about. Watch what they do. It seems like, and I know some of you can attest this too. Look at your work environment. I guarantee you there's probably somebody you know or know of someone that because of their bad behavior, they got rewarded for it. They might have gotten a promotion from it. They may have been, they may have had an approach and said, well, you know what, instead of ruffling feathers, we'll give them what they want, they'll just go away. No, all you're doing is giving them more of a platform and a voice to do it, to continue that bad behavior. Now, let's go back to the main topic. It is very important that your environment, you must stay vigilant. And that's where your perceptions must be clarified. Because it also goes off of your self-worth, your value of who you are. So I'm going to go there, y'all, so work with me. But like, for example, if I was to go outside my house and I got my pants down my backside and I'm wearing a certain type of attire from someone who did not know me, they would their perception, they would think I was a thug, or I may conjure some fear in them. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. How many times you've gone somewhere, just minding your business, and you pass a woman, and because of how you dressed, she clutched her purse. She don't know you from a can of paint, but instinctively, that's her reaction. Is it right? No, it's not. Does it happen all the time? Because it's the perception that we give off. And that is why it's very important that we be conscious of what we do. Ladies, if you are dressing provocatively and you're getting catcalls or someone disrespects you, it's the perception of what you're giving off. Is it a disservice because they don't know you? You're darn right it is. But see, we as people, once again, have free will. See, this is one thing I've learned. As a woman, I know, I've learned this from y'all. The last thing you're going to do before you leave your house is hit that mirror. Why? Because you're making a conscious decision of how you're being perceived. So there's a choice there. But with that choice, there is a responsibility. Did you think that, I'm going to segue it again. Let's look at these reality shows. These housewives. Those shows have totally disrespected you as women. You're saying, well, how's that, Joe? I like it. Well, number one, they don't promote positivity for you as a woman. They promote a generalization that all women are that way. There's no different than a woman saying that all men are bad. That's a general statement. You can't say that unless you know all men. But it's a perception of what's been put out in the environment. And see, it's not right. It's not right. Because at the end of the day, you have free will of in regards to how you wish to be treated and addressed. And you cannot receive that unless you know your self-worth and your value. You can't. It don't work that way. Now I know you may be thinking, well, Gerald, I can wear whatever I want, and that's my business. You're right, it is. But then it's kind of contradictory when, here you go. How many times you seen this, fellas? You see a very attractive lady, and she is wearing her outfit to the T. And you ain't even said a word, but then she turns around, what she say? Don't look at me. What are you looking at? Or may have an ego chip and come off arrogant. Well, as you already know, she's doing that to validate her self-worth because she's insecure with herself. So she feels that she has to go beyond the call of duty to find that, to balance that within herself. Which is all that is a cry for help, because that's something that you lack. I'm just saying. I mean, that's just like saying because you see a man in a nice vehicle, you think one or two things. Either he's an athlete or he's a drug dealer. But you don't know that man from a can of paint. You don't know that man may be holding down 2 jobs and putting himself through school. You don't know that because you have not taken the time to invest in that information. Because it's a perception. It is. You get where I'm going with this, y'all? It is very important that you govern your life. Now, with that, you must place boundaries there. You got people that have no right to have access to y'all I know I'm talking to somebody. Somebody right now is scratching their head and like, you know what? Why do I have this person in my life? Well, ask yourself this. With your connections and the extensions of who you are, does each and every one of them facilitate this one thing? Growth? Yes, growth. Because if you can't grow with that extension, then that extension is nothing but a representation of you. That's where that attraction is. If it did not exist, what do you got to talk about? You got nothing in common. That's where that like-mindedness comes into play. Yeah, I'm talking to somebody. I know there's somebody right now pissed off like I don't know what, because you just felt like someone just lifted up a tarp or pulled the curtain down and you seen the truth. But then you kind of realize that truth has been there the whole time. And the conflict is you hurting. It's not the fact that you hurting because it's the truth. You're hurting because your self-worth says no. This is who I am. This is not who I am. That's where the lesson comes from. If you guys are in a situation where you're constantly seeing the same people revolving in your life, ask yourself this. Do I love myself enough to perpetuate the negative energy that is coming from this alliance or connection? Because if you love yourself, why you ain't happy? You need to protect yourself. There are some people that will have a crabs in the barrel mentality. It's sad, but it is what it is. Because these people are here to teach you a lesson about yourself. Think about it this way. For those in a relationship, when you look at your mate and you say, I love you, are you saying that because you're projecting that in them? Or is it coming from you? Is that a perception? Because guess what? You can't love them unless you love yourself. But see, and that's why so many relationships and connections fall short. Because it's a perception. Perception comes from within you. And what's within you? What resonates within you? Your spirit. Come on, y'all. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know somebody right now is like, look, care about this person, but every time I deal with him, it's like pulling teeth. You know why it feels that way? Because the perception that you had about that person has changed. And actually it didn't change. You got clarity now. And you're afraid. You don't know what to do. You're afraid that you're going to ruffle some feathers if you decide to love yourself more. Now question yourself this. Why won't you? What's holding you back from growing? What's holding you back from being the individual that you are destined to be? See, that's where the conflict comes with, people. Don't you get it? Do you see it? See, when we turn around and put more focus on the things that will not enhance us, it actually stifles us. It's like being robbed. You might as well hand over your purse or your wallet. Because those people that are not treasuring who you are as a person will never have the guttle. They will never have the strength or courage to tell you the truth. So they're going to use deception. They'll put that mask on and they will ride that sucker out until the wheels fall off. Or until you do see your worth. Until you do have courage. Until you do change your perception. Because let me tell you something, every time you change your perception, you're allowing growth. You're allowing for the things that you need to enhance who you are. The real you is there. And guess what? They have to change their perceptions too. Because the truth is, if they do not, you're gone. So, I hope you guys have a beautiful and safe Labor Day. Welcome back to my college students. Congratulations to my parents that are sending their babies off to another school year out there. And if you got any questions or concerns, by all means, drop me a line, inbox me here. Also, as I said before, I'm on Google Plus, so you want to be a part of the circle? Hey, that's what it is. I'm here. So, until then, as I always say, before I do, I want to congratulate you. I'm going to get here. Yeah, you. For you deciding that this is the day you're ready to embrace your life. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming. But it's always about putting a smile on your face and being in sync with who you are. Because when you're in sync with who you are, everything resonates. Everything. And it is truly a beautiful sight. So, congratulations with your new life. It's worth it, y'all. You're worth it. So, as I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. Stay blessed. Be safe, y'all. Till next time. Peace.